Hello everyone, welcome to Power Within Psychology YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing great. My name is Yashashvi Mehta and I am here to host the series Diploma Diaries. Once again, I would like to introduce Diploma Diaries series to you. So we have launched this series so that if any psychology student or even a non-psychology student has a problem in choosing which diploma to take or whether which diploma has more pros and cons, so here is a series which can help you because we will be bringing resource persons from different fields of psychology doing different diplomas in different fields from different colleges so that we can ask them your doubts and you will be pretty well clear with what you have to do. So in our today's session we have Miss Rinkal Jain with us. So once again I welcome you ma'am here. Thank you so much for joining us, and definitely sure that everyone here will be enlightened by your knowledge. I would also
Thank you
like to
for having
introduce.
me.
Yes, ma'am. I would also like to introduce more about Miss Winkle, ma'am. So, Miss Winkle Jain is a freshly graduated psychologist. She has done MA in clinical psychology from SNDT University and is also pursuing PG diploma in counseling psychology from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai. She runs an Instagram page under the handle The Ineffable Psyche, and I must say, ma'am, this is a very beautiful username because when I was reading about it, I also searched about the name that it's something like when we cannot express this in words. So I like that feeling you took out of that username. It's really great. And then she also takes client and she has like a private practice. She is also associated with Mind Treats, which is a startup mental health well-being platform. Ms. Jain uses person-centered existential and insight-oriented approach in her therapeutic practice. So this was an introduction of Miss Winkle Jain. I would invite you, ma'am. Here, the platform is all yours, and please let us know more about you.
All right, so I think you've very well and adequately summarized my introduction. I'll just briefly introduce myself to all the viewers. So, hi, and like Yashashvi's mentioned, I'm a freshly graduated psychologist. I've recently finished my MA in clinical psychology from Maniben Nanavati College, which is under SNDT University. I finished my bachelor's in psychology from Ruia, again under Mumbai University. And currently, as Yashashvi has mentioned, and the main reason why we are here is that I'm pursuing a PG diploma in counseling psychology from St.Xavier's College, Mumbai. And I feel like since I have a background in clinical, I thought that exploring it further and taking a look at also the counseling aspect of psychology is primary reason why I took up this course with Xavier's, mostly to widen my horizons, because there are two views to look at mental health, right? While there's a diagnostic view, there's also a therapeutic view, and doing this course with St. Xavier's is really helping me, take a look from counseling perspective to understand psychotherapies better. And, it's giving me a wider perspective with my practice, as Yashasvi has mentioned regarding my private practice. Uh, Coming onto my Instagram page. So, yeah, I've recently started with this Instagram page after I finished with my master's, The Ineffable Psyche. So, for all the viewers out there, I'll just briefly explain. Like Yashashvi did her reading, but I'll just explain to the viewers regarding what the username is all about. The word ineffable means something so large and so humongous that you cannot really describe it in few words. Something that's undescribable, for that matter. And the word psyche is sum total of human mind and soul. Literally everything that's human psychology. So the this page is basically my understanding of when it comes to mental health and psychology. That is, it is so vast and it is so huge that uh, to be a mental health professional is a lifelong learning. I feel like even if I've been practicing for 15 to 20 years, I'm pretty sure I'll still be doing some course or I'll be still attending some workshop, reading up on new things, or going through research papers. That is psychology for me. It's a lifelong learning process, and that is the entire rationale behind my page, that we learn and grow together. So that's about it. And again, like Yashashvi has mentioned regarding my therapeutic practice, I practice from a person centered and existential point of view. And for me, when we speak about therapy, for me, mental health is also political. So in my practice, I also view mental health from a feminist and transgenerational point of view, taking into account the political systems around us, like, let's say, sexism or racism or patriarchy, see how that also influences our mental health. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Like I'm getting to learn about this as everyone knows that even I am a graduate student. I have still not graduated. So these are the things which is new to us, and we like to explore about it. Ma'am, the point you raised that you are from clinical background and you have did
Hmm.
counseling psychology. So one thing which we graduates usually think is of that what stream should we take? Like should we take clinical or counseling? Should we take organizational or forensic? And sometimes we
Hmm.
think of this combination only, that okay, we'll do masters in clinical and do diploma in counseling, or maybe vice versa. So
Hmm.
here I guess this is the best opportunity to ask you, and maybe every one else who is in that confusion would like to know that how this benefited you, or like the whole procedure of it, or was there something pros and cons of this? So can you please explain it more in detail about this?
All right. So I'll be very honest. When I entered my masters, I had this thing straight in my head कि clinical करना है, उसमें ही interest है. I want to work in a hospital or a clinic, and I want to work with severe mental health disorders. तो उसमें मेरे लिए कोई दो राय नहीं थी. तो जब भी applications आए masters के, counseling was not on my mind. I was hardcore clinical में interested. ठीक है. Uh, and everything was fine till my first year, but the second year came, and my entire plan was कि MA होने के बाद I'll do MPhil from an RCI registered clinic institute, and I'll be an RCI registered clinical psychologist. That was my whole plan. And I'd started looking at institutes after my first year, and I started planning for entrances and everything. वो सब ready था. But then the lockdown happened. All right, and when the lockdown happened, something, how do I put this? Something changed for me within. कि मतलब, when I saw, like, in the lockdown, we saw so many people struggle with their mental health issues, right? And personally, again, I'm not making a general statement, but personally, what I felt was that there are people struggling. What they need is immediate relief, right? What they need more than a what they need more than diagnosis and testing and assessment is therapy, right? And again, I'm not saying that a MA in clinical psychology course will not teach you about therapy. It will definitely teach you about psychotherapies and everything. But मेरा वो inclination change हो गया कि rather than working in a hospital or with a clinic, not that I don't want to, but I would much rather like to work with clients from a counseling perspective, from a therapeutic perspective. So that's when I started surfing कि अभी MA clinical में choose कर लिया है. What next? How do I like really shift? Because MPhil is not on my mind now. And after, like, again, this is a personal choice. I'm not saying that nobody should do MPhil or anything. Personally, for me, I felt like I don't identify with it. I feel like I'm started identifying more with therapy and counseling. So I started with my online searching, like we all do, ruminate over Google. क्या courses available है, कौन से institutes available है. I was looking at therapy courses, if I can maybe specialize in some kind of therapy, or if there's a course in psychotherapy and everything. And then I came across this course from St. Xavier's where they're providing a year-long postgraduate diploma in counseling psychology. Like that literally covers everything, right? The course, I went through their course structure, and they pretty much touch upon everything जो हम masters in counseling में भी सीखते हैं. And that is when it clicked for me. This is a perfect opportunity. Clinical का background तो है ही, counseling में भी सीख लेंगे थोड़ा. So that's when I applied, and I feel like anyone who has an orientation towards therapy and counseling should definitely go for this course. But again, at the same time, this is something I strongly feel that if you're pursuing your master's in counseling psychology, this course may not be the best choice, because you will be studying the same things and it doesn't make sense in that, unless you want to do an additional, unless you feel that your master's course was not satisfactory in from a learning point of view. So yeah, that was my journey with this course.
Okay, so thank you, ma'am, for putting that point. What I take away from this learning is definitely this is a very, I think so, beneficial thing. Like, especially because nowadays integrated courses are also too much in like trend, I could say. So if we are not able to do integrated course, then we can explore this by adding a diploma degree, which also can give us a relief that okay, we have studied about it, and now we will be better clear that okay, which stream should we go or which stream should we pursue better. Ma'am, I would also like to I would like if you can also give us more brief details about, like, definitely the eligibility and scope, but mainly the course
Hmm.
structure from St. Xavier College. If you can tell how the course structure was, what the weightage of theory and practical was from your college.
Right.
Yes.
So, first things you said about the integrated is something that I'd like to address to all our viewers. I personally feel that when it comes to integrated course with clinical and counseling, while they are great, but also at the same time, I feel like the when you take from a depth point of view, how much in detail you're studying about both the fields, that doesn't happen a lot, because when they're trying to cover a lot of topics with you, वो ऊपर ऊपर से टच करते हैं, डिटेल में हम नहीं सीख पाते. तो अगर दोनों ही inclinations है, clinical or counseling, तो it's always better to finish your post graduation in one, and then like, but then again, there not that I know of if there are diplomas in clinical, but you can always finish your post graduation in clinical and take up counseling courses, because I think St. Xavier is not the only college providing with counseling course. There are a lot of other colleges and institute providing courses in variety of therapies that can be explored. So that's one. And secondly, so yeah, I'll come to the eligibility and the scope aspect. um, so the eligibility of the course is you need to have a minimum master's degree to be eligible for this course. And currently I am in the course, like it's still ongoing for me. I've started my academic year in July only. So either you need to have a master's degree in psychology or sociology or any human development related field, or either if you're in a helping profession with a master's degree but in a helping profession, so you're eligible to apply for this course. Either if you're waiting for your master's final results, like let's say you're in your final semester of your master's, because the applications start from May for this course. So obviously a lot of colleges are not done with their MA, like they're in their final semester. So even that's one also you're eligible to apply, because I applied when I was in my final semester of masters. So that's the eligibility. You need to have a master's in all these professions that I mentioned. Secondly, I'll go through the admission process, the entire process. So the right now, given the pandemic, the entire process was online. What happens is you have to go to St. Xavier's website, okay, and this will be generally in month of April or May. Okay, that's when the admissions start. You have to go to their website, and you'll go in the diplomas. There'll be a PG diploma in counseling psychology, which is actually sponsored by St. Xavier's Institute of Counseling Psychology. They have a separate institute for this. Um, they have an application on their website. You have to download that application. You have to fill in that application, and after you do that, you have in the application you're also supposed to put out a letter. So they'll ask you to write like a statement of purpose kind of thing, or like a letter stating why do you want to pursue this course. All right. So obviously they get in a lot of applications, and based on, so this letter is kind of a, you can say this SOP is kind of a filtering criteria. ठीक है, उसमें वो लोग shortlist करते हैं आगे. So okay, yeah, sorry, my screen froze for a minute. All right. So you send in your application, you write like a 500 words ka SOP वगैरह रहेगा, and when you write that, you submit your applications. Within a week or two, I got a confirmation mail from the course director, and the second round of this application is an interview. Now, given the pandemic and everything, it happened online, but generally interviews offline. Rather, you have to go to St. Xavier's. Um, I had a 20-minute interview, 20 to 25 minute roughly interview with the course director. And of course, the interview is not very, it's not like you need to know your theory of psychology and everything. Since you have a master's degree, they kind of assume that you are aware of the basics and everything. The interview is more focused on understanding who you are as a person. Like, for example, I was asked questions such as, why do you want to be in this field? Tell me a little bit about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What about your work experience? If you have anything, you can talk about that. So it's more like a getting to know you type an interview. Based on the SOP and the interview, they make their short listings, and they have 25 seats in total. And one thing that I've really liked about this course with St. Xavier's is that the cohort, the class that we have of 25 people pursuing this course, it's very diverse. Um, in fact, I'm the youngest one in my class. We've got people like from all age range and from different backgrounds. We've got people from human development background. We've got people from medical background. We've got people from, in fact, we also have people from like other helping kind of professions, like parishes and everything. So they've got a very diverse structure, and that's about the eligibility and the criteria. And regarding the scope, and you asked one more question regarding theory and practice, right? All right. So another thing, the course is entirely practicum based. Okay, like we're studying theory, but main focus is on practicum. And the entire year is divided into 7 modules, out of which 2 are practical modules. One is counseling practicals, and another one is career counseling practicals. So those are 2 things that they've focused on. And we have theory on basic counseling skills, personality, contemporary psychotherapies. We're even covering psychopathology and all of it. So this is, and the entire, so St. Xavier's takes a lifespan approach when it comes to counseling. They'll be teaching counseling from a lifespan perspective, like from infant to old age. Every age group presents its challenges. What kind of mental health concerns come? What kind of strategies we can use? How can you deal with them in counseling and everything? So they take a lifespan approach to that. And lastly, the scope is that I feel like this course has a very good scope, because after completing the scope, not just formally but informally also, you feel that you make a lot of contacts in the field to begin with, because the faculty is very experienced, right? And the as a part of course, like I've mentioned, it's a practicum based course, so we'll be having supervision, and we'll be taking on teletherapy along under the supervision of the faculty and all. So it really helps in building contacts in the industry to begin with. And this course is always an added cherry on the cake kind of a thingy if you've already finished your masters. So it's all, and St. Xavier's is a very reputed institute, so it's always a good addition to your thing. So scope point of view, the course has a very good scope after you've finished it in your career. So I hope it clarifies major doubts.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Like, I got all my doubts cleared. Each and every point was very well discussed. We also have 3 questions in the chat box. One is
Yeah.
from Siddhi, that, ma'am, is this course a distance mode or a regular mode? So I guess this was a regular mode, but due to lockdown, it was online,
Yeah,
right?
like as of now, ideally our professors are also like really frustrated with the fact that we are having to do learning online. And but it's a regular mode course, and we have lecture 3 days a week, alternate days. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and every lecture is for 3 hours. And as of now, since it's online, we've got like most of my batchmates are not even in Mumbai, We've got it from all over the India, so that has provided them with the opportunity. But once the pandemic situation sorts out, it will be offline.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Another question is if you can tell us about the fee structure of the program.
Right. So the fee for the course is 65,000 and it's a one-time payment. Uh, yeah, that's about it. And one more thing is, along with this fee, the course, I forgot to mention it in the scope and the eligibility aspect. The course requires you to be in personal counseling. And I think that's one of the key features of all the courses that Xavier's provides. You have to be in therapy yourself, and you have to kind of submit um, a letter from your therapist stating that you've been for this many hours in therapy while you're pursuing the course, because they require you also to work on your mental health as you're learning to working with mental health of other people. So that comes along with the fee structure actually, because since we are talking about finances, they'll provide us with the list of therapists that we can access to, but of course there'll be charges to that also. So when we talk about fee structure, that is one expense you have to keep in mind, that you have to be in therapy yourself.
Ma'am, I guess this is a really a unique point. Like at least for me, I have never heard of this before. So this is
Yeah,
really a great thing. We also explore ourselves while exploring the course.
definitely.
So this is very beautiful. Another
Yeah.
question is from Dharia. How are the placement opportunities after the course?
So again, I think this is one thing very well known in the field of psychology, is that we do not have a formal placement drive kind of a thingy. But again, as I mentioned in the scope aspect, I feel like after finishing this course, your opportunities in terms of job and everything will definitely increase. One, primarily because the faculty is very well known in the field and they have a lot of contacts, and you have to kind of work with networking. You have to stay in touch with your faculty, you have to stay in touch with your classmates also, because everybody has a lot of contacts, right? So either say somewhere you'll get opportunities, firstly that, and secondly, like I mentioned, it's an added since it's a diploma course and the eligibility of the diploma is to already have a masters. It's an added cherry on the top. Like for example, if I come from a clinical background and if I also have a degree in counseling, so that means that I have a wider horizon, right? I have a wider area of expertise as compared to someone who's only come from a clinical background. So that also attracts a lot of job offers and all of it. And again, you'll be working in teletherapy with the course. The course has a mandatory supervision thingy. So by the end of the year, so it's a 1 year course, right? So by, let's say, Jan or Feb, we'll start with our teletherapy and we'll be taking clients. The college will be bringing us clients and we'll be working with them under supervision of the Xavier's faculty. So those clients also continue with you in long term. So that way, I feel like the course is worth the money you invest in.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I hope Dharia, your answer, like your question has been answered. The next question is, ma'am, डे वन शेड्यूल कैसा होता है, लेक्चर टाइम कितना लेक्चर होते हैं, एंड इंटर्नशिप करनी होती है क्या? So I guess this you have already answered. Like I guess telepathy is already a kind of an internship, right?
Yeah, so teletherapy, definitely. But I'll just answer this question once again.
Sure, ma'am.
Lectures 3 days a week hoga, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 to 7 every day. Additional lectures नहीं होते हैं. And जो government holidays रहता है उसके हिसाब से we'll get holidays. So there's that. Again, another thing I forgot to mention is that like I mentioned, the course is very practical based, right? So we'll get a lot of assignments, and assignments are very practical based, like writing a reflective essay or practicing a certain skill. It's not a very standard textbook assignments, or come up with activities, come up with counseling strategies. वो सब type के assignments काफी रहते हैं. So there's that. And internship, again, will have a supervised teletherapy with the college. College will bring us clients, or we'll get clients for ourselves, and we'll take counseling sessions with them under the supervision of college faculty. And other, so now this one thing I'm not very sure, because I'm also still in the course, I haven't finished it. Ideally, we're also supposed to work with an old age home or something, geriatric counseling. But then again, वो online offline के हिसाब से how are they fitting that in their schedule? I'm not very sure. But if it's offline, so definitely that will also come under the internship exposure that we get from the college.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I guess, Bhushan, your question is also answered. Ma'am, one more thing which I had a doubt, like as you said, this is an advantage for those like from clinical if you are doing a PG diploma in counseling. So you have a more wider scope here. Even if like
Yeah.
someone from organizational goes to counseling, so they have got one more like field in hand to work on. So, ma'am, like suppose
Definitely.
someone is already from counseling, and as you said, like it's a very pretty similar course. So,
Hmm.
it's like if the course is justified, then the PG diploma is not required. But my doubt was like, if we compare masters in counseling psychology and diploma in PG diploma in counseling psychology, so does their like credentials or certification is same? Like, can they both like one is a student from masters in counseling and one is a student from PG diploma in counseling? So can they
Hmm.
practice similarly and they have the proper professionals right?
Right. So that is one question even I had during the admissions. So again, like I've mentioned, St. Xavier's is a very reputed institute. It's a top tier institute, right? And the course that they are running, this PG diploma, it's a year-long course. And so even if you take a look at masters, even in clinical or counseling, I'll tell you what a 2 year structure looks like. The first year will be general psychology in your masters. तुम्हारा क्लिनिकल हो या काउंसलिंग स्पेशलाइजेशन हो, फर्स्ट ईयर का सिलेबस सबको सेम रहता है. Second year is when the specialization comes in, which is a 1 year long course, right? And the course that we are doing with Xavier's is also a year long course, right? Again, I'm not comparing it with a master's course, obviously, but like I've mentioned, people coming in for this course already have a master's degree. This is an additional course. So, regarding the professional, you can say, competency point of view, the course is UGC registered. And after finishing the course, the diploma that we'll get, it allows us to practice as counselors, right? And again, I'd like to remind you that most of the people who are in this course are already practicing psychologists with a clinical background. So, if you take a look from a licensing point of view, they're already qualified. So, being doing this course in counseling just widens their because we will be learning a lot about psychotherapy and basic counseling, which is something that clinical में इतना focus नहीं रहता है, और career counseling is something जो हमको clinical में बिल्कुल नहीं सिखाते. So those are the things जो हमें यहाँ पे सीखने मिल रहा है. So it kind of widens our scope in terms of, what we can and cannot practice. But then again, the course, after finishing this course, you can practice as a counselor. You may not take, if your background, like I've mentioned, there are diverse backgrounds. If your background is not in MA clinical and all, or MA in applied psychology, or MA in organizational psychology for that matter, like suppose if you come from a human development background or sociology background, you can still practice as a counselor, but you may not be able to take up certain cases because obviously masters ka background ka knowledge alag hi rehta hai. So yeah, I hope that clarifies it.
Yes, ma'am, it definitely clarifies my doubt. Also, ma'am, there are some, I guess, some diploma courses which allow non-psychology background students to also come, and maybe there will be some courses like in St. Xavier's. I guess their eligibility is not allowed for non-psychology students, right? As you said that only humanities parts is focused for eligibility.
Yeah, like I won't say non-psychology, but
Okay.
helping professions is the word you'll use. Like, for example, if you're a social worker for that matter, that's a
Yes.
helping profession, right? Or if you are a priest, a father in a church, that's a helping profession.
Definitely.
Or if you're a nurse, right, that's a helping profession. So they take in professions that are helping profession. I wouldn't say exactly non-psychology because there are a few of my batchmates who do not have a background in psychology. But what you can also do is, in case you want to shift from another field to psychology, and you do not want to go through with your bachelor's process, although it's not recommended, but here's a way that a lot of people do it. You can do your MA from IGNU. So they provide with a distance learning course, 2 years of masters, and then you can come for this course in Xavier's. So that is something that you can do.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Like, I guess every doubt is clear, and usually this doubt came like in my mind also, because many of my classmates also ask, and like my old friends also ask that if we are not from psychology background, or if we have no touch about it, but if still we want to explore this, and like they
Right.
have done something like engineering or something, so can they pursue,
Hmm.
or what will be their eligibility and all. So I guess your last tip which you gave to the students who are not from this background will be like benefited, like very beneficial for them. So thank you so
Right.
much, ma'am. Thank you for the time. And if
You're
anything you
welcome.
want to add on and say to the audience, if you feel like, you can definitely say.
I think what I would like to say to the audience is based on my experience. If you're not from the field of psychology, um, I would really recommend, honestly, that you start from your bachelor's because you will miss out on a lot. Okay, if you directly just go, it's a shortcut that I've suggested, but it's not a recommended route, of course. But of course, if there is no choice, you can go ahead with this, like doing an MA from IGNU. But it's really better if you can start with your bachelor's, because that's when, to be a psychologist is not just reading books and knowing theories and understanding papers, right? It's also about the kind of person that you're bringing to the table, and I think the education that you get from bachelor's till your master's really shapes that. One thing is that I would like to say, and second thing is, for those who are from psychology background and who are very confused about how to go with their master's application, what courses to do, what degree to take, what institute to go to, and all of it. What the one thing that I would say is, firstly, go on internet, search as much as you can. Trust me, everything's available on Google. If you like, just take the time out and search for the courses and everything. Secondly, go on LinkedIn, network with people. The more you connect with people, the more opportunities you'll be aware of, and you'll be able to make a more informed decision.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, like really a lot, from everyone from our Power Within side also, and from the audience side also, for giving us time from your busy schedule and answering all our questions. Thanks a lot to this. And also there was one last request from the in comment box. So they say that please answer like questions related to PG diploma and clinical psychology also. So this is a message from my side and the Power Within community to everyone, that this series will have diploma courses in psychology, related to every field. Currently we are focusing on counseling. We will also focus in clinical psychology diplomas, organizational psychology diplomas, even holistic development and the positive psychology diplomas too. And as and when we get more information related to this, we will be bringing more topics and videos related to this. So thank you for the comment, Bhushan ji. And yes, again, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you to the audience who are like literally there and watching us. So it's like, thank you, ma'am. And take care.
Thank you for having me. Take care. All right.